Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 117, and today we're going to be talking about the four most important things that you need to have in place if you are going to hire, train, and retain a sales team. But before we do that, if you've got leads in your pipeline, if you've got people you've spoken to, people who have inquired, who you had an initial conversation with, but they didn't buy, what I want you to do is head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab your free audio training where I give you the exact strategy that you can use to double sales with those inquiries. This is such an untapped opportunity in almost every single business I speak to. It's the exact same strategy that I start all of my clients with when they come on board with me in the Arise program, and it will give you results that work consistently, which is what you want. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com, grab the audio training today, and get also the PDF guide, which has got the exact word-for-word scripts, exactly what to say when you call somebody and leave a message, exactly what to write in your emails, and exactly how often to do that over a 90-day period to double your sales with your existing inquiries. It's the biggest question I get. What do I say when I call? How often should I call? How often's too much? At what point are they going to feel like I'm stalking them? This is a system that I have dialed in and fine-tuned over the years, and it will work really, really well for you. So if you head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab that right now, you will thank me for it later. Okay, so we're going to talk about the four most important elements that you need to have in place if you are going to hire, train, and retain a sales team. So the first one, and this is often the biggest one that I see, the biggest mistake that I see clients making is selection. So often I'll get called into a organization, they'll say, we want you to train our team, but they mistake a training problem for a selection problem, a recruiting problem. So creating a profile of the person that you want is important. So we'll go back to this in more detail in a second. But the four most important elements are selection. So the system that you use for selecting the salesperson in the first place. The second one is induction. So what happens on the first day? What happens on the first week? What happens in the first month? What happens in the first quarter? What is the process you're taking that person through to bring them up to speed where they're trained and they're confident enough to actually start to make sales? Ideally, if you can get them making sales within the first 30 days, that person is so much more likely to continue to succeed and to continue to stay with you. So the first area is selection. The second area is induction. The third area is training. So once you've inducted the person, you want to make sure that you've got a really, really good training process in place. So that's number three. And then the fourth is the ongoing systems that you have in place for managing that person's performance, but also managing their motivation. And this is also a really big disconnect. So often people will say, they'll contact me and they will say, hey, we want to get you in. Our guys aren't motivated. They're demotivated. It's like, okay, so let's flip the script on that. Let's find motivated people and let's create an environment where they won't become demotivated. And sadly, many sales organizations are environments where people actually do become demotivated. So, what is best practice in terms of creating an environment where you can hire a motivated salesperson and they will stay motivated? So they are the four. So the first one is selection. We need to make sure that we have a process for creating the ideal profile of the person that we want. Often the mistake people make there is that they want the person to be able to do too many things. It's like, what is the core competency? What is the personality fit in terms of culture? And then what is the process that we use to screen them? So I have a three-pronged process that we use for screening salespeople so that you get the right person on board, and that there is a psychometric test, there's an interview, and then there's also a culture fit in terms of selection. Induction, as I said, what happens with that person on the first day, the first week, the first month, the first quarter, to make sure that that person is up to speed. They know what is expected of them. They know what they can expect from everybody around them, and they are making sales, ideally in the first 30 days. The third one is training. So what are we doing to train that person, keep them up to speed and fine-tuned in terms of their skills and their abilities on a regular basis so that they can sell as much for you as possible. And then the fourth one is the ongoing systems for motivating them or creating an environment where they won't become demotivated, and managing their performance to make sure that they are kicking goals, to make sure that you can see where they're at any time and spot any of the warning signs that you might need to identify if you want to take them, back through a training process or sort out whatever it is that you have got happening with that person early and quickly. So I hope that helps, and I, as promised, will continue with some of these ideas around creating a sales team and managing a sales team in the coming weeks. Thank you for listening, as always, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Thanks.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.